What is going on, X community? Exostomp here, and today, people, of course, joining me is Galaxy Bomb,
Hello, everyone.
and we're going to, of course, be going over the Week 6 power rankings for the EDL. Okay, so first things first, question of the day is, what's your favorite Alolan Pokemon? This means what's your favorite Alolan form, like type change, like Alolan Persian and stuff like that. What's your favorite?
Mine would definitely have to be Alolan Ninetales. I just really like it. I like the design of it. I like the fact that it gets to complement the fact that it has Drought. Normally, it has uh, Snow Warning, um, and its typing is really cool. Yeah, it has a 4x weakness to Steel, but Ice Fairy is just a cool type. It's fast, strong. It's got everything.
Okay. Um, I want to say Sandslash, but I don't like the Alolan Sandslash. I think regular Sandslash is cooler. Um, I would probably say Alolan Raichu. I think it's adorable. I do like the typing. Is it new? Psychic and Electric?
I think so. I don't know if there's any other Psychic Electrics out there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Off the top of my head.
But still, it's a really cool Pokemon. I like its ability. It's just, it's cool. I like it. All right, but without further ado, let's get into it. So, in 10th place is going to be Eternal Darkness, aka the Dark Team. What can we say about this match? I'm not necessarily sure why they didn't come into Hoopa a lot more in the game that they played. I think Hoopa just sort of pressed Psychic a lot of the time and took out.
I think it was a choice spec because that Thunderbolt in the middle of the match did a lot of damage to Toxapex. It did like 80-something% to Toxapex.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, what did the Water team bring? Actually, let me just bring this up quickly. They had Toxapex, Pelipper, Poliwrath, Araquanid, Barraskewda, and Azumarill, which none of them live a spec psychic in that. So I don't know. I think bringing it out and just pressing a move would have been the best idea. You did bring it out and T-bolted the Toxapex, which is great. But I think earlier on you would have been able to claim a lot more kills.
Psychic would have killed it, wouldn't it? Because Psychic super fast. Yeah, I guess Psychic just kind of destroys their team. That's pretty funny.
Sadly though, they did lose this one. It was, well, let's just say Azumarill sort of cleaned up their team. It just makes sense. It's a fairy type.
Azumarill is such a good, like, in the last two matches that the Water team has brought Azumarill, it's been absolutely a menace, which is really cool to see. Because, like, you don't really, like, you look at their team, you don't think about it too much, but that thing is just sitting there waiting to murder everything.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little more when we get to Water. But yeah, I think being in last place is a little tough. But then again, you guys sort of got a little screwed with the first match being a forfeit, and then the first two games, one being a fighting, one being a fairy. I think you guys just got a little screwed with how the matches went. That's just how Monotype is. But you got a win, which isn't bad. It was against the Dragon team, but still.
Yeah, I think Dark is one of those types where it has a lot of good mons, but it's really hard to play around Dark's weakness. Like, the fact that it has a weakness to Bug, so U-turns and stuff are going to do a lot of chip damage. And Fairy is a very popular tech move. It's good against a lot of different types, including Dark. So it's really hard to utilize a full Dark team like in a effective way.
Yeah. I don't think any Dark types learn webs. Is there a Dark?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think webs with Hoopa Unbound would have been clean. If there's no Dark type that learns webs, that's why, of course, they wouldn't bring it. But yeah, I think it would have been chill. But sadly, they are in 10th. But let's move on to 9th, which is
there are no Dark Bugs. at least that learn webs.
Huh. Alright. Well, Knightface is going to be Gumi. So, they sort of gave up the last 2 matches and they were like, screw it, let's just have some fun and do some random cool sets. And honestly,
this match was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it was great. Like from both sides, it was really
they
cool
both brought really cool like random stuff. Like I think they had Focus Blast on Technology. What else did they bring? I think Turtonator just shell smashed turn 1. I was like, oh boy, let's go. It was really fun.
It was definitely cool to watch. I think, when did they win? They won against the Water team, which is actually pretty impressive because Water usually has Ice Beam and stuff, so that was pretty good. But then once they lost against the Electric team, I believe to Hacks, they sort of just gave up from there. But still, they had fun with it, and that's why this league is here. So as long as you're having fun, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. But yeah. Coming in at 8th is going to be the Fighting team. So, they did get a little unlucky. They weren't actually around for this last game, so they weren't able to try to get their second win. There's not much to say about them for this week because they didn't play their game, but I think against the Fairy team, they had some outs. Like, they had, not many. I guess Terrakion, maybe because Cobalion is really good against them. Maybe Infernape can do something, but they were
it was a little bit of a tough matchup to begin with.
Fighting in general it always struggles against Fairy. A lot of teams struggle against Fairy.
Yeah, that's why I hate Fairy.
Yeah.
All my favorite types are just like, oh yeah, Fairy kills it. Okay.
What else? Oh yeah, another Fairy. But for 7th, it's gonna be us. Wow.
Yeah, we plummeted from that last match. That's so disappointing. But...
I think we went from 4th to 7th, which is big because that means that we are actually out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Still, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. We went positive. We went 3-3 and then positive differential, which is not bad. We did have a really good team, honestly.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting that 7th place is a 3-3 with a positive differential.
Yeah.
Like, this was a tough league.
Yeah, I mean, look at the players. Everyone just is so good. And then the people that took over teams are good as well. So it's like, it's so hard to, like, play well, especially with Monotype. People can bring some crazy stuff, but yeah, we did lose against the Psychic team. I will leave a link in the description as well as probably the time card, or yeah, time card above. But yeah, you guys can check that out, check our game out. But for 6th place, it's gonna be the Water team. We did sort of hint about this earlier, and Azumarill just sort of swept at the end. They were able to weaken everything with Toxapex, basically, and sweep with Azumarill from there. I think the way that they played Azumarill was extremely good, and Toxapex as well, just sort of spam Scald. I think those are the only 2 mons that they needed. If those were the only 2 mons that came, they would have been fine too.
Yeah, like Azumarill in these last 2 games that they've brought it has really just shown its power with its belly drum and a stab priority move. I mean, it can just take over the game. It's really, really cool. I've actually really enjoyed watching it just decimate.
Yeah, I think that's a thing that we are going to be changing. I have said this before in the chat, in the Discord, but as you can see from the Water team, a lot of Pokemon probably shouldn't be where they are. Azumarill was tier 2, which I feel like should have been tier 1. Stuff like Slowbro could have been tier 2 pretty easily. Cloyster maybe could have been tier 2. So I think the Water team definitely used the tiers to their advantage in this one. Sort of like how Transl did in the what was it, UU, right? Yeah, the UU draft. But yeah, I guess that's it. For 5th place, we have Steel. So this game was actually pretty funny. It was a really cool game to watch. Surprisingly, every single Pokemon on the Steel side actually got a kill. Every single Pokemon, even Ferrothorn. At the end. Pretty cool. Yeah. So that was awesome. It was a 1-0. It would have been a 2-0, but Solo sacked his Metagross to have better differential for playoffs. So honestly, well played. I see you. Although, imagine if Dracozolt flinched Ferrothorn. They would have lost.
That would have been awesome, though.
It would have been 3-3-2. We would have been in there again, boys. But still, actually, as you guys will notice, yeah, between the next three people, they're all gonna have the same scores. So 5th, 4th, and 3rd, they're all gonna be the same. So for playoffs, we're just gonna sort of put people in positions that they haven't versed another team. So you guys will see. I already have playoffs up. I'll probably show it in this video, and then when it goes up, I'll make it live. But yeah, I think this game was awesome. The Metagross weakness policy, agility is always fun to see.
That was so cool. But then they pressed agility again.
Hey, they need better differential.
That was weird, but Solo said he had a reason for it, so.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, 4th, or quote-unquote 4th, we have normal team. So they actually, lost against the electric team. It sort of makes sense if you look at what the the electric team brought. They brought a Drain Punch Electros, which is a reason why it was banned from the PU draft. It's extremely good because it has so many moves. It's sort of like a slower Zeraora with Coil, which sounds scary.
Yeah. And immunity to ground.
Yeah, that too. And then Zeraora has close combat, so that destroys. Yeah, it was going to be a struggle going into this game for them, but it was close. I think at the end, if they had Snorlax, with like Earthquake, I don't know if it had Earthquake. Actually, probably should have asked them. But if they had that, or if they had like Chansey with counter, Galaxy, you said that.
Yeah, I was still hoping it had counter, but it didn't bring it. I felt like it would have been really good in a lot of situations, like especially against the Zeraora at the end.
Yeah.
It actually could have killed it probably, but.
Yeah, sadly they did not bring that, but you know what? That's fine. But yeah, they're still in the playoffs, still in 4th. Well, not 1st, 4th. So yeah, that's fine. For 3rd, again, 4, 2, and 3, we have the Psychic team, the team that we versed this week. They did beat us 4-0. Basically, they took out our Lando and Thundurus, and then at that point, the Raichu just came in and basically just killed all of our Mons. I think we already talked about this in the video, but we definitely could have played a little bit better. I think, yeah, the first few turns were fine, and then once we dropped the Thundurus, that was when it all went downhill. I think.
Started to go downhill, yeah.
But still, Lele got a lot of kills in this match. So yeah, it sort of cleaned house, and then cleaned up with the Lando and Thundurus, and then Raichu cleaned house at the end of that. But yeah, still, it was a great game. Of course, like I said before, I'll leave it in the description if you want to watch it. And for the 2nd place team, we have the Electric team. So they're 4, 2, and 8, which is very nice. Even though Zeraora has 18 kills, they're still not in 1st. That is insane. Okay?
Crazy. It's crazy how much that one Pokemon has just gone on a slaughterfest.
Now, I'm not sure if any other Pokemon could do that, honestly. 18
I don't think
kills?
so. Like, maybe it's crazy to me how strong that Pokemon is, and this has really just proven it.
Yeah, and the fact that once they claimed Electric as their Monotype, that was their free pick. They didn't even need to worry about it.
Yeah,
That's insane.
pure electric. Don't have to worry about getting sniped. Its only weakness is ground. You can completely play around it because that's your typing.
Yeah, they played around their typing very well, being Zapdos is immune, Rotom Heat's immune, Vikavolt immune, Electros is immune. I think on first glance, they do have, I guess they did have, I think they swapped out maybe a few Pokemon. They did have a lot of regular, just electric types. But they played with it extremely well this season. And honestly, if we did look at the coaches, we would have put you guys a lot higher. You guys are very new to the league, so maybe not, because we don't really know how you guys play, but still.
I think they proved themselves pretty
yeah.
well in this league. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, looking back, just looking at the kill leaderboard, I would be baffled not to see this at first place. Like, just looking at this leaderboard.
Yeah. Speaking about first place is going to be the Fairy team. So, they're 5-1. They did get a forfeit win this week. That was from, I believe, the Fighting Team. Yes. Honestly, they probably would have won because it's just favorable. It's a favorable matchup. But still, not being able to play means that we can't really talk too much about it. Although honestly, I could see some fire maybe coming. Like the Slurpuff, if the Slurpuff could belly drum up, it probably would have been over. The Mimikyu, Swords Dancing up. The Clefable.
Yeah, I think they had a lot of setup that could really do some work.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in seeing what they bring to the playoffs. I mean, really fun to watch because the thing that Fairy is good at is that it's got a lot of options, which is why I hate it because it's very versatile. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. It's interesting to see the difference in playstyle between like the Fairy team and then like the Electric team. Because like the Electric, you have a Mon that's been brought 6 times and is just stepping over everything. I think Fairy's one of the most diverse in terms of what they pick. They didn't grab Togetic in any games, but they spread out their games played in a lot of different mods. They just have a lot of that versatility.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And the thing is, all their Pokemon are threats. They're enormous threats. Like, I can't see one Pokemon that's tier 3 or above that I wouldn't be afraid to prep against.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they definitely played well. And, yeah, they do have a bye. The first and second place do have a bye for the first week because, of course, we're dropping 4 people. So then there's going to be 6, which means 2 people get a bye. 4 people play. I guess technically 8 people, but 4 teams play. And then once whoever wins that versus Fairy or Electric, we would go over the kill leaderboard, although the only thing that changed was that Lele got a few kills, I think 2 kills, and of course Zeraora got more kills. That's the only thing that changed, so there's not much to say about that. We don't really need to show it. If you guys do want to look at it though, of course it will be on the league information sheet, but let's actually go over the playoff sheet. I don't know if I can actually bring that up. Yeah, actually, give me a second here. Alright guys, we are back. So, here we do have the playoffs game. I finally was able to pop it up, but, so as you can see, Fairy Team has a bye, and then on the bottom it's Calculated Risk versus Team Wetworks. They have not versed yet, and it would be interesting to watch them play. Then on the other side, we have the Electric Team gets a bye, and then it's Psychic versus Normal. Of course, they did verse before, but I believe it was week 2. I think everyone else basically versed, so yeah, I think this was the best outcome, because, of course, Wetworks and Steel haven't versed, and then TFT Gang and Bombad X, they haven't versed either, so, or they versed a while ago, so I think this is the best that we can do. Yeah, I guess that's it for playoffs. Of course, when this goes live, we will be putting this up for everyone to watch and look at. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Good luck to everyone in playoffs. Sadly, we're not in, but it's alright. Yeah, do you have anything else to say?
This means that it's another couple games for us to watch and enjoy.
Alright. I guess that's it, so I will see you all next time. Peace.